Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission. We are here today for our weekly business meeting. Today is Monday, February 13th. It's Thursday the 13th. It is approximately 1 p.m. Before we begin, would you join me in a moment of silent reflection? Thank you very much. First, a roll call of commissioners. All commissioners are present in the hearing room. Mr. Scarborough, if you would please proceed.
Good afternoon, Chair Powers, Vice Chair Williams, and Commissioners. The first order of business is to set the next regularly scheduled Commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next business meeting be set for Thursday, March 6, 2025 at 1 o'clock p.m.
The next business meeting will be Thursday, March 6 at 1 o'clock p.m.
Thank you, sir. Today we have 15 items on our utilities agenda and 12 items on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 on the utilities agenda is in docket number 2014-216C. This is a request for approval of the Sixth Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Peerless Network of South Carolina, LLC.
Having heard item 1 is presented by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant the request of Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, to approve the Sixth Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Peerless Network of South Carolina, LLC, and AT&T South Carolina.
Thank you very much. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2025-33C. This is a request for approval of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Brightspeed Broadband, LLC, doing business as CenturyTel Broadband Service, LLC.
As to item number 2, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the Commission grant the request of Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, to approve the interconnection agreement between Brightspeed Broadband, LLC, doing business as CenturyTel Broadband Service, LLC, and AT&T South Carolina. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2015-75C, which is a request from RCLEC Incorporated for cancellation of its Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity.
As to item number 3, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
RCLEC Incorporated was granted a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity to operate as a provider of resold and facilities-based local exchange and inter-exchange services in South Carolina by order number 2015-421 issued on June 9, 2015. RCLEC advises it does not provide services and does not have customers in South Carolina pursuant to its certificate, and therefore no longer requires its certificate of PCNN. Accordingly, RCLEC seeks cancellation of its certificate and the authority granted pursuant to order number 2015-421. RCLEC further advises that it does have customers and will continue to serve customers as an interconnected VoIP provider. I move that the Commission grant the request of RCLEC Incorporated to cancel the Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity granted by order number 2015-421 issued on June 9, 2015. Further, I note that as an interconnected VoIP provider operating within South Carolina, RCLEC Incorporated is required to contribute to the dual party relay program pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-9-2530 and Commission Order Number 2016-637 issued September 17, 2016, and to contribute to the State Universal Service Fund pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-9-280E and Commission Order Number 2016-837, issued December 15th, 2016. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 4 appears in docket number 2024-278C. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 4, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the application of IntelliTrace Incorporated for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide resold inter-exchange service in the state of South Carolina and for inter-exchange service offerings to be regulated in accordance with procedures established for alternative regulation in order numbers 95-1734 and 96-55 and docket number 95-661C. I further move that the commission grant an IntelliTrace request for a waiver of requirement that its records be kept within the state as required by SC Code Annotated Regs 103-610. Additionally, I move that IntelliTrace be allowed to maintain its records in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries.
Item number 5 is in docket number 2024-294C. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 5, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the application of eNetworks LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide competing local exchange and inter-exchange telecommunication services in the state of South Carolina and for alternative and flexible regulation. I further move that the commission grant the requested waiver of South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-607, 103-610, 103-611, and 103-63. Excuse me, 103-61. 631. I'm going to read that again. The regulations are 103-607, 103-610, 103-611, and 103-631. So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2009-144C. This is a request from TracFone Wireless Incorporated, doing business as SafeLink Wireless Incorporated, for confidential treatment of its South Carolina Consumer Report for the fourth quarter of 2024.
As to item number 6, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of TracFone Wireless Incorporated, doing business as SafeLink Wireless Incorporated, for confidential treatment of the South Carolina Customer Report for the fourth quarter of 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2024-203E. This is a request for rehearing of the Commission Directive dated January 9th, 2025, from Dr. Cheryl O. Lane.
As to item number 7, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission withhold ruling on the petition at this time. Pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Sections 58-27-2150 and South Carolina Annotated Regulations 103-854B, the commission will rule on any party's motion or petition for rehearing or reconsideration after the commission issues a fully written order, or full written order, I should say, At this time, the commission has not issued such an order, and once the commission issues said order, we will consider Dr. Lane's petition for rehearing and reconsideration. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion?
Chair Powers?
Commissioner Williams.
Vice Chair Williams, I want to get some clarification on your motion. Would Dr. Lane need to refile the request for reconsideration following the establishment of our order?
I don't think she has to refile.
Okay.
The order has been filed, and my motion is to not rule on the motion until we issue a written order.
Okay, and so her request for reconsideration will still be viable at the following our order being published.
Yes, ma'am. That's my motion.
Thank you for the clarification.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
I think it would be best if we had some sort of indication from Dr. Lane. There may be things in the order that she wants to address that are not addressed by this petition for reconsideration. So I think it would be helpful if she is advised in a directive order that she can either notify us that the current petition is satisfactory, or she can refile another at her choosing. But I think that at this time, this petition is not timely. We are under a timeline in which we need to act on a petition for rehearing and reconsideration, so I think we would need something from her, either a new petition or something saying that her previously filed petition is sufficient, so that we are within the timeframes that we need to act.
I understand what you're saying, Commissioner Belzer. I read Dr. Lane's. I read Dr. Lane's petition. I hesitate to offer her any legal advice. I'm comfortable with it, but if what I hear you saying is that it's cleaner if we rule that it's not timely, I think we could do that, and I'm open to that if that's what you're suggesting.
Mr. Vice Chair, I would suggest that we do rule that this one is not timely, and that the time to file a petition runs from the filing of the written order.
Well, do we know when the written order is going to come out?
No, sir, but she will be served with it. And it will be dated, and she has 10 days from the date of that order to either refile what she's previously filed or augment it somehow. If I need to make a substitute motion, I'll be glad to, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair.
I'm just sort of thinking through it.
I know we're not in a position of giving legal advice or advisory opinions, and that's why I think it might be cleaner if we just say that this petition is not timely, and put in the motion that the time to file a petition begins to run upon the filing of in service of the final order.
Would it be helpful to put in there as well that if she does not file anything additional, or we don't hear from her, that her reconsideration would stand?
Not quite sure how that works, given the timeframes that we're under to rule under a petition for reconsideration, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, would you reformulate a motion, or how do y'all wish to proceed?
Mr. Vice Chair, do you want me to go, or are you okay?
No, I'm just to open my mind, or open my thoughts to you all, so you know what I'm considering. What what I'm looking at here is I understand the commission's statutes and regulations. I also understand that Dr. Lane is a pro se litigant who represented herself well. I'm not sure whether or not she's watching this or not. I'm not sure what her posture is, but I do know she filed a petition for reconsideration once we made our decision, and I don't want to find her petition as not timely, and then she misses the deadline to file a petition for reconsideration if she's not tracking when our order is going to come out. I'm not sure that we're tracking when our order is going to come out, so I'm just trying to work through. I'm trying to work through all of that. I think you're right. Let me just say this: I think you're right in terms of what the statute says in terms of keeping it as clean as possible. But I don't like for things to fall through the cracks.
Well, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, I just offer that I believe that the statute says that the commission, okay, an aggrieved party has 10 days following a decision or order to file a petition for rehearing or reconsideration. We have made a decision, we have not issued the order. My concern is that there may be point in the order that she might like to address, okay? A party is only given one shot at a petition for rehearing or reconsideration. I think that and typically, and just because we've always done something some way, it's not binding on the commission, but in the case where we've had petitions for rehearing and reconsideration that come in early, before a final order, it's my preference, and this is an individual preference, that we rule that it's untimely so that if there is something in the order that the petitioner wants to address, they have that opportunity to do so. If we were to go ahead and rule on this petition, she doesn't get another bite at the apple once the order's issued. So that's what I'm trying to make sure, that she's afforded all due process and given every opportunity to have her objections considered and ruled upon. And I'm not trying to be mean to her or any pro se litigant. I just want them to have every opportunity to raise all the issues they want to raise. There could be points in the order, that legal points that she wants to address, or factual points. I don't know. And so that's why I think I just think it's a better course to rule that this is not timely, so that she is afforded the opportunity to review the order. She can submit the same thing or send a letter saying that, I stand by what I filed on whatever date it was filed. I think it was filed on January 28th. And that's the basis for why I think we just rule that this one's not timely. She may want to just keep that one in place, or she may want to send another one in. I don't know. I can't speak for her. But I'm just trying to make sure that she has that opportunity.
And so, again, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I don't disagree with you on what the statute or the regs say. We're in agreements there. What I'm thinking through, let's say she wants to just stand on her previously submitted petition. Would some writing or communication that essentially states that be good enough for her to have her petition heard once we file our written order?
I think so. I mean, I would think that it would be sufficient to just send in a letter saying, I reassert, or I stand by my petition filed on January 28th.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you helping me walk through that. Mr. Chair, I'm going to make I withdraw my motion. I want to make a different motion.
Okay.
So I made the motion. So I don't do I need leave to withdraw, or are you allowing me to withdraw my motion?
We will withdraw your motion, allow you to proceed just as a correction to it, yes.
All right. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, considering the commission has not yet issued its full written order in this docket, I move that the commission withhold ruling on Dr. Lane's petition at this time, and the commission find that the petition for rehearing or reconsideration is not timely. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Having heard the corrected motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in, Commissioner Belzer.
All right, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Vice Chairman, other commissioners, I would like to offer an amendment to the Vice Chair's motion. Just to say that following issuance of the written order, the parties will have the opportunity to file a petition for rehearing or reconsideration pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-27-2150 and South Carolina Code Annotated Regs 103-854B, or a party may reaffirm that a previously filed petition for reconsideration is still what the party wants to file or have considered, what the party wants to have considered.
I accept the amendment.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Having heard the motion and amendment, is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 8 is in dockets numbered 2024-317E and ND 2024-42E. This item involves a report from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC concerning the number of bills affected by waivers of regulations 103-321 and 103-339, and a request to refile the report on a delayed basis.
As to item number 8, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC's request to file a 60-day report on the number of bills impacted by waivers of regulations 103-321 and 103-339 on a delayed basis. Companies filed the report on January 29th, 2025, which will be their final report, as the companies have indicated the waivers granted in order number 2024-763 are no longer needed. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 9 appears in dockets number 2024-286E and 2024-287E. This item involves final disposition of these two dockets.
As to item number 9, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the application of Central Electric Power Cooperative Incorporated for a certificate of environmental compatibility and public convenience and necessity for the construction and operation of 2 double-circuit 230 kV lines within the Allison Creek Industrial Park in York County and associated facilities pursuant to the Utility Facility Siting and Environmental Protection Act and applicable commission rules and regulations. The approval granted herein is subject to the applicant obtaining all federal, state, and local permits, consultations, and certifications. I further move that the commission grant the application of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for a certificate of environmental compatibility and public convenience and necessity for the modification of the Newport B&W 230 kV line and the construction and operation of the Hands Mill 230 kV switching station and associated facilities to feed new lines owned by Central Electric Power Cooperative for its customer, York Electric Cooperative, and associated facilities pursuant to the Utility Facility Siting and Environmental Protection Act and applicable Commission rules and regulations. The approval granted herein is subject to the applicant obtaining all federal, state, and local permits, consultations, and certifications. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2024-345C. This is a motion from American Tower Corporation to dismiss a complaint filed by Crystal Henson.
Do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move the Commission grant American Tower Corporation's motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. American Tower is not a regulated public utility subject to the Commission's jurisdiction. Further, the petitioner seeks monetary damages, which the Commission lacks jurisdiction to award. Thus, the petition does not present a claim for which relief can be granted by this Commission. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. It is obviously a civil matter. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 83-307E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of the trustees' annual report dated December 31st, 2024.
Commissioner, is there, thank you very much. Is there a motion by Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bell.
Sorry. Thank you. In compliance with the requirement in Commission Order Number 84-142 dated March 2nd, 1984, to file an annual report on the Nuclear Decommissioning Fund, Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated filed on February 3rd, 2025, the trustees' quarterly accounting report and annual accounting report as of December 31, 2024. Dominion provided a confidential version of the report to the Commission and advises the confidential version of the report contains confidential and sensitive bank account numbers. Dominion also filed a redacted version of the report to protect disclosure of confidential information while making available for public viewing non-protected information. Dominion requests a protective order barring disclosure of the confidential report. I move the Commission find the confidential version of the report contains sensitive and confidential information of a nature the disclosure of which could be harmful and would constitute an unreasonable invasion of privacy. As such, I move the Commission grant protection from disclosure of the confidential report. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Bell, sir. Having heard the motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 12 has been removed from the agenda. Item number 13 is in docket number 2023-89E. This is a request from Duke Energy Progress, LLC, for approval of a proposed securitization true-up.
As to item number 13, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bell, sir.
This matter before the Commission pertains to the true-up adjustment letter under the Storm Damage Recovery Act pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-27-1110C4. Excuse me. Quote, if the Commission issues a financing order and the storm recovery bonds are issued, the electrical utility shall file with the Commission at least annually a petition or a letter applying the formula-based mechanism and based on estimates of consumption for each rate class and other mathematical factors, requesting administrative approval to make the applicable adjustments, close quote. The statute also provides that, quote, the review of the filing shall be limited to determining whether there are any mathematical or clerical errors in the application of the formula-based mechanism relating to the appropriate amount of any overcollection or undercollection of storm recovery charges and the amount of the adjustment, close quote. The Commission's order number 2023-752A dated October 23rd, 2023 is the financing order. And that order in paragraph 23 addresses the true-up adjustment letter and describes how the true-up adjustment letter is to be handled. Order number 2023-752A also provides that, quote, after issuance of storm recovery bonds on behalf of Duke Energy Progress LLC, the servicer will submit at least semi-annually and at least quarterly beginning 12 months prior to the scheduled final payment date of the last maturing tranche of the storm recovery bonds, a letter in this docket for commission review as described in South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-27-1110C4 and in the form attached hereto as Appendix C. On December 20th, 2024, Duke Energy Progress LLC, as servicer of the storm recovery bonds, filed its first true-up adjustment letter in compliance with the requirements of South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-27-1110C4 and Order Number 2023-752A. The true-up adjustment letter seeks an adjustment to the storm recovery charges. ORS, by letter filed on February 7, 2027, advises that ORS reviewed the filing for mathematical and clerical errors in the application of the formula-based mechanism relating to the appropriate amount of any overcollection or undercollection of storm recovery charges and the amount of adjustment. ORS found no such errors contained in this filing, close quote. Having reviewed the filings and in accordance with the statute and the order, I move that the Commission approve the true-up adjustment letter submitted by Duke Energy Progress LLC on December 20, 2024. That's my motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
For clarification, when Commissioner Belser mentioned the letter filed by ORS, I believe she said February the 7th of 2027, and obviously that should be February the 7th of 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner. You are correct. I apologize if I misstated, but it should be February 7, 2025.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 14 appears in docket number 2024-291WS. This item involves the Office of Regulatory Staff's review of Blue Granite Water Company's draft notice to its customers.
As to item number 14, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the Commission accept the modifications made by the Office of Regulatory Staff to the Blue Granite Water Company draft notice. Upon review, the Commission has made an edit and will provide a final draft notice to Blue Granite Water Company for its issuance to its affected customers as soon as practicable. I move that this final draft, with the Commission edit being included in strikeout form, be attached to this directive when issued. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. The motion has been made. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number 2024-319E. This is a motion from Sierra Club for admission pro hoc vici for Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, and Sari Amil, Esquire.
Is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant the motion of Sierra Club for pro hoc vici admission of attorneys Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, and Sari Amil, Esquire, in docket number 2024-319-E.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda. In Part A, we have 6 applications for new Class C certificates, which the commission can address together. Item A1 is in docket number 2025-31T, which is the application of W&R Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A2 appears in docket number 2025-34T. This is the application of All About Our Seniors LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2025-35T, which is the application of Wanda and Roger Transportation LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item A4 is in docket number 2025-36T, which is the application of Bella Taxi LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A5 is in docket number 2025-37T. This is the application of Extra Mile Healthcare Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. And item A6 is in docket number 2025-38T. This is the application of S&D Reliable Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Thank you. As to items A1 through A6, as presented by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items number A1 through A6 as listed by Mr. Scarborough. A directive order will be issued for the application in each respective docket.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. As to this motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have one request to amend a certificate. Item B1 is in docket number 2023-309T. This is a request from SDK and International Limited Company, doing business as Acorn Care Transport, to amend Class C non-emergency certificate number 9894 to read Acorn Care Transport LLC.
As to item B1, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant the request of SDK and International Limited Company doing business as Acorn Care Transport to amend the name on its Class C non-emergency certificate number 9894 to read Acorn Care Transport LLC. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have 3 requests for extensions of time. Item C1 is in docket number 2014-73T. This is a request from Septian Jones, doing business as Beeline Transportation, for an additional 45-day extension of time to comply with Commission Order Number 2024-197.
Item C1, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion,
Commissioner Belser.
and I ask the commissioners indulge me as I provide some background in this motion. There's been there's a history, and so I want to cover that a little bit. On March 4th, 2024, Septian Jones, DBA Beeline Transportation, filed for reinstatement of certificate number 8862 after the certificate was canceled on a default judgment motion by the Office of Regulatory Staff in a proceeding to cancel certificates of motor carriers which failed to provide evidence of insurance. The Commission granted the requested reinstatement by Commission Directive Order Number 2024-197 dated March 21st, 2024. This motor carrier has requested 2 extensions of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations subsequent to reinstatement and has not yet come into compliance with Commission rules and regulations. The last order granting an extension was Commission Directive Order Number 2024-658 dated September 26, 2024, and that order granted an additional extension of 5 months or until February 16, 2025, to complete the certification process and come into compliance with Commission rules and regulations. I move that the Commission deny the request of Septian Jones, DBA Beeline Transportation, for an additional 45-day extension of time. as provided by Commission Directive Order Number 2024-656. Septi and Jones, DBA Beeline Transportation, has until February 16th, 2025 to come into compliance with Commission rules and regulations. If Septi and Jones, DBA Beeline Transportation fails to come into compliance by February 16th, 2025 in accordance with Commission Directive Order Number 2024-656, then Septi and Jones, DBA Beeline Transportation must file a new application with the Commission seeking approval of a Class C taxi certificate and with the new application providing updated and current information. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Belser, is there any further discussion?
Chair Powers?
Commissioner Williams?
Chair Belser, I just noticed that February 16th is Sunday. Are you or anybody else able to comment on?
Sunday is what was in the prior order.
Right.
But when a due date falls on a Sunday or a holiday, the due date rolls over to the next business day.
Thank you.
So actually, isn't
You're right.
so it's Sunday, but Monday's a holiday, so the due date would roll over to next Tuesday, the 18th. I did not change that because that was the language from the prior order.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item C2 is in docket number 2024-277T, which is a request from Alimac Med Transport LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser?
I move that the Commission grant the request of Alimac Med Transport LLC for a 6-month extension of time until August 3rd, 2025 to comply with Commission rules and regulations. And Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman,
Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a comment. I would note that this is this carrier's first request for an extension.
Certainly.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item C3 is in docket number 2024-262T. This is a request from Ashley's Way Transportation Services LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser?
I move that the Commission grant the request of Ashley's Way Transportation Services LLC for a 3-month extension of time until April 30th, 2025 to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser?
I note that this requested extension is the first extension request by this carrier.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have one request to cancel a certificate. Item D1 is in docket number 2023-307T. This is a request from Caring Man in a Van, SC, LLC, to cancel Class C non-emergency certificate number 9898.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the Commission grant the request of Caring Man in a Van, SC, LLC, to cancel its Class C non-emergency certificate number 9898.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
In Part E of the transportation agenda, we have one request to reinstate a certificate. Item E1 is in docket number 2023-151T. This is a request from C&J Transportation LLC for reinstatement of Class C non-emergency certificate number 9886.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of C&J Transportation LLC for reinstatement of their Class C non-emergency certificate number 9886. This grant of reinstatement is contingent upon the motor carrier obtaining proper insurance and coming into compliance with all rules and regulations of the commission as determined by the Office of Regulatory Staff. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion by Vice Chair Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scarborough, and thank you all who have joined us. Now that we've determined today is February 13th, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. You now can't say you didn't know. Enjoy your day and your weekend. We are adjourned.